Hello and welcome to our channel. Today we're diving headfirst into the tumultuous tides of history, exploring one of the most significant events of the 20th century, the Russian Revolution. This was a time of immense political and social upheaval, a time when an entire nation rose up to change the course of its destiny. If you're a history enthusiast, or even if you're just curious, this video is for you. We'll be unraveling the complex narrative thread by thread, taking you on a journey through time, from the palaces of the Tsars to the grimy trenches of World War I. So, sit back, buckle up, and get ready for a ride through history. And hey, if you enjoy our content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell icon. You don't want to miss out on our upcoming episodes. Now let's set the stage with some world context pre-Russian Revolution. Picture this: the year is 1917, World War I is in full swing and the Russian Empire is at its breaking point. The world is gripped by the chaos of war, and Russia, a key player in the global conflict, is feeling the pressure. The war effort is draining resources, causing food shortages and economic collapse, and the people are growing increasingly discontent with the monarchy. The Tsar Nicholas II is losing grip on his vast empire. His decision to lead the army personally, leaving his wife, the unpopular Tsarina Alexandra, in charge, only fuels the flames of dissatisfaction. The people are hungry, the economy is in shambles, and faith in the monarchy is waning. Meanwhile, World War I is creating economic and political strains worldwide, further isolating Russia. Countries are choosing sides, alliances are shifting, and amidst all this, Russia's internal problems are reaching a boiling point. Beneath the veneer of a powerful empire, Russia was a simmering pot ready to boil over. The first spark of revolution flared in Petrograd, the Russian capital, during February of 1917. The city was a tinderbox of discontent, fueled by food shortages and the hardships of World War I. The spark came in the form of mass protests, not just from frustrated civilians but also from soldiers who defied orders to quell the unrest. Instead, they joined the people, their mutinies adding momentum to the movement. In this charged atmosphere, Tsar Nicholas II, the ruler of Russia, found his authority rapidly dissipating. He was faced with a choice: hold on to power and risk civil war, or abdicate. In the end, he chose the latter, stepping down and ending more than 3 centuries of Romanov rule. This marked the formation of a new provisional government, a change that should have quelled the unrest. With the Tsar gone and a provisional government in place, one might think the revolution had reached its climax, but in fact, the real upheaval was just beginning. Fast forward to October the same year. The stage was set for a radical shift in power. The October Revolution, also known as the Bolshevik Revolution, was about to change the course of history. The Bolshevik Party, under the leadership of Vladimir Lenin, was gaining momentum. Lenin's return from exile earlier that year had injected new life into the party. His charisma, combined with his promise of peace, land, and bread, resonated with the masses, who were disillusioned with the provisional government's inability to address their needs. As the month of October rolled in, the Bolsheviks were ready to seize power. They planned an armed insurrection, a direct challenge to the authority of the provisional government. Their ranks were filled with workers, soldiers, and sailors, united under the banner of revolution. The time had come for action, for the Bolsheviks to seize the reins of power. On the night of October 24th, the revolution began. The Bolshevik Red Guards stormed key locations throughout Petrograd, the then capital of Russia. The Winter Palace, the symbolic heart of the provisional government, fell into their hands. Within a span of few days, the provisional government was effectively dissolved. The Bolsheviks had won, but they didn't stop there. They moved quickly to consolidate their power. In November, they established the Russian Soviet Federative Socialist Republic, laying the foundation for what would later become the Soviet Union. They pulled Russia out of World War I, redistributed land to the peasants, and nationalized industry. These radical changes were met with resistance, sparking a civil war that would last for several years. Despite the challenges, the Bolsheviks held on to power. Their rise marked a significant shift in Russian and indeed global politics. The age of the Tsar was over. The age of the proletariat had begun. The October Revolution marked the birth of the world's first socialist state, a momentous turning point in world history. The Russian Revolution didn't end with the Bolsheviks' rise to power. It had far-reaching consequences, both within Russia and beyond its borders. In the immediate aftermath of the October Revolution, Russia was plunged into a brutal civil war. The Red Army, led by the Bolsheviks, fought against the White Army, a diverse group of anti-Bolshevik forces. After 5 long years of bloodshed, the Red Army emerged victorious, paving the way for the establishment of the Soviet Union in 1922. This new nation, the world's first constitutionally socialist state, was a radical departure from the previous autocratic rule of the Tsars. It promised to build a society based on communal ownership and equality. However, in practice, it often meant political repression and economic hardship for many of its citizens. Beyond Russia's borders, the revolution had a profound global impact. It marked the birth of a potent new political ideology, communism. This ideology, with its promise of a workers' paradise, resonated with many across the world, especially in countries plagued by social and economic inequality. In the following decades, communism would spread to various parts of the globe, often triggering political upheavals and cold wars. It challenged the existing world order and fueled ideological battles that would define much of the 20th century. The Russian Revolution, a seismic event that shook the world, forever changed the course of history. So, there you have it, the Russian Revolution, a tumultuous period that forever altered the political landscape of the 20th century. We've journeyed through the tense atmosphere leading up to the revolution, witnessed the upheaval of the February and October revolutions, and delved into the far-reaching aftermath that resonated globally. If you found this dive into history enlightening, subscribe and hit the notification button to stay updated on our latest content. Until next time, keep exploring history.